the world sees Trump for what he is: insincere, ill-informed, and impulsive, and sometimes corrupt, dangerously incompetent, and incapable, in my view, of world leadership and leadership at home. It's why we've seen such a precipitous drop in how the rest of the world views the United States of America. One recent poll found America's leadership is now less respected than China's and on a par with Russia's. And if we give Donald Trump 4 more years, we'll have a great deal of difficulty, if ever, being able to recover America's standing in the world and our capacity to bring nations together, which is desperately needed. And I think it would be catastrophic to our national security and to our future. We can't let that happen.
Hey guys, let's talk about this video for a second. Before I get to my cards, I want to go forth with my pendulum, and I have to explain to you guys how this works. Usually I would have a yes and I would have a no written out on some kind of chart here, but I am too lazy to do that right now. So I'm going to let my gemstones represent the yeses and the nos. The rose quartz is going to be yes. Amethyst right here will be no. And jasper will be the in-between, the gray area. Now, the first question I wanted to ask is whether or not Trump is aware that Biden called him incompetent. Does he care? Is he aware what most people in the country think of him? Is he mentally incompetent? Is he developing some form of dementia? Okay. And with that being said, I'm going to pull out my cards, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I want to talk about the foreign policy, well, Trump's foreign policy, and how Biden spoke of it. Excuse my speaking, guys. Biden called Trump mentally incompetent. So, as far as foreign policy is concerned, well, he's mentally competent in every aspect of life. But, you know, we're talking about foreign policy here. I want to talk about Trump, Russia, these children in the internment camps, and Russia and the sex trade. We all know that Russia is the #1 country that is involved with sex trafficking, especially sex trafficking of minors. I have a theory that when Trump decided to throw all the immigrants out of this country, he didn't think far enough to consider the children of the immigrants. So now when the parents are thrown out, they have nowhere to put the children, especially the children that were born in the U.S. They've now officially become orphans. They can't really, how should I say this? These concentration camps, is what I call them, are overcrowded. They don't have the funds to feed the children or give them medical assistance because it's just too much. They didn't plan for all of this. Now they can't really send the children back with the parents, especially if the children are American born. The easiest thing for them to do would be to send them to Russia, because Russia is so infiltrated in our politics. It would be easy to cover up. So they need to get the children out of the public eye. They will sell their souls for money. So why wouldn't they sell other people for money? So that's what I want to look into. This is going to be a quick reading, guys, because I don't want to delve too much into this shit because it's really sad. But Is that the case? Is that the case? Were they going to sell the children into the sex trade? This is very hard to read into, guys. It's really terrible. So, yes. The Two of Cups in reverse, yes. They were. It's a bad union. Or a union between terrible people. Yes, they were disastrous. It's a disaster that was going to happen. And it would be for money. Yes, new beginnings. They would get rid of the children. The public would get off their backs because they think the children are safe and sound with their parents. And the Devil. Yes. That was the plan. However, would it have ever happened? Would it have ever happened? Let's see what the tarot tells us. Oh, that's kind of horrible. Well, not kind of. It is extremely horrible. So, it's saying, yes. Yes, it would have happened if it weren't for justice, the sword of justice. If it weren't for the sword of justice, it would have happened. And just so that I can get a bit of clarification on this King of Swords here. Well, the King of Swords, usually when I'm talking about this kind of material here, it represents Mueller. But let's see what the cards tell us. Yeah, it is Mueller. He's not going to let it happen. He wouldn't let such a transaction happen between the effed up people. It is Mueller. See, we have the Two of Cups here in reverse. So, we have to do our part. And people have to keep speaking to keep shit like this from happening, guys. So, once again, thank you for watching my video. Catch you in the next.